Chosen ones, let's talk about a very important topic, okay? And that is outgrowing your environment. If you are evolving, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And this can be with your friendships, relationships, family, places that you go to eat. As you start to evolve, you start to realize that some of those places, peoples, and things you have to leave in the past in order for you to be able to evolve. I'll give you an example. I was thinking of I went to this bar to catch up with a friend, and while I'm at this bar, it was a bar that I used to really enjoy before. And now when I'm there, I start to see the people that are around there. I start to see the vibe. I start to see that there's people that are with certain energy, and you start to realize like the places that I used to want to be at, now I just can't afford to be in. Not that I can't afford it financially, is I can't afford to be here with people that have nothing to lose. I can tell by the energy that these people, they're living for Friday, I'm living for purpose. So as much as I'm enjoying the time just sitting down and having a conversation with my buddy, I'm still surrounded around energy that I don't want to be around. Okay. So it goes to show you certain places, even environments like where you grew up at. I have evolved the most when I have moved to different places. Sooner or later, you start to feel, at least for myself, I started to feel like this is not the place that I want to be anymore. I need to evolve. I'm outgrowing the era where I'm at. And the first time that I ever moved away from home, it's the cool thing about it is you're able to almost recreate yourself, right? When you are at a location, when you're at a certain place, you're tied down to that location, you're tied down to that identity and what people think of you. When you move somewhere else and you know you have evolved or you want to continue to evolve, you can show up to that city as that new person. You don't have to show up there as the old version of yourself. Maybe you made mistakes in the past in that area. Maybe you done things you're not proud of. You're able to move somewhere else now where people don't know you, where people are not going to judge you, and recreate the better version of yourself. I have done that every single time I have moved, and it has allowed me to experiment with different things, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work with careers. And I've moved for, certain jobs and stuff like that. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. But the reality is you continue to evolve. Even with the things that don't work, you're still evolving. So I would always challenge you, if you feel like you have outgrown your town, you have outgrown your city, especially if you have big dreams and you live in a small city, a lot of those people will drain you, will bring you down. Sometimes it's not even intentional. It's just a small town mindset. Which brings me to another example. I used to go, when I was in Texas, I used to go to like Planet Fitness, Fitness Connection, these smaller gyms. And there's people that their mentality is different, right? They don't understand creating content. So you would show up with a camera or you would show up with your phone and you would see this energy of like, who does he think he is? Why is he recording his workouts? Or sometimes it's like, it's mostly coming from the people that you are like 10 times better shape than they are, right? It's this, instead of asking, their ego is like, I'm just going to hate on them and look at them a certain way or give them a certain energy. So even with the gym, when I was in Dallas, I started to go work out at a different gym, Absolute Recomp. It was more expensive, but to me, it was worth it because I couldn't afford being around people that had a certain energy because I'm trying to create something for myself, right? Because at the end of the day, if they see someone creating something that is positive, trying to build a business, recording their journey, why would you hate on that, right? So even those type of places, you have to elevate yourself and say, you know what, I can't afford to continue to those places, or I got to limit my interaction when I go to those places. I got to go to other places that are more aligned with other people that are wanting to do the same thing that I'm doing. So it goes to show you an example about the gym. Now, this also can happen with family. This is very important because there was a time in my life where I felt so guilty to say, no, I don't want to go to those events. No, I don't want to go to those holidays. No, I don't want to go to those birthdays. And I didn't want to come off as, oh, I just think I'm better than everyone. Oh, I think I'm better than them. And sometimes people will think that. But I decided, you know what? I need to choose myself first. I need to choose my peace of mind. If going to those places doesn't align because there's people there that I don't want to be around or there's energy I don't want to be around, it is okay for me to do that. And I allowed myself to say, no, I don't want to go, or put limitations of, I'm only going for an hour and I'm leaving. I don't care what people say. Right. Or I'm just going to say, hey, I'm not going. I really appreciate the invite. I just can't make it. Choosing my peace of mind has been one of the most important things. And it doesn't matter who it is. It could be family. It could be a relationship. It doesn't matter. I have outgrown relationships, and I don't think twice anymore. And I wouldn't say I don't think twice, but I don't stay longer than I need to in a relationship if I see signs of something that is not aligning where I want to go. If I'm not aligning with that person, maybe it's not their fault. Maybe I have outgrown that person and we try to grow together. And if it doesn't work, I'm out. I don't stick around because I've done it before. I've lost a lot of time, and it's time that I can't get back. Okay. And when I look back to those relationships that didn't work out, they still wouldn't have worked out today, because if I didn't align with that back then, I sure as hell am not aligning with it now, because especially as I start to evolve even more. Okay. So even with relationships, family, places, you know, it's part of evolution. If you are actually growing, if you are actually becoming a better person, you have to let go of certain baggage. It's like you're on a plane and you need to let go of weight. Sooner or later, you got to stop dropping these baggage of things that are not allowing you to ascend. Okay. So you will be faced with those situations. Hopefully, you look at this video and you realize that it's okay for you to feel like that, and it's okay to choose yourself. You need to be fully complete, fully full, fully aligned so you're able to go and help other people. But do not prioritize other people other than yourself, because you can't pour into somebody's cup from an empty cup. Don't forget, you chosen one. I love you. Peace.